Hey everyone, it's Karen with Yes Please PaperCrafts, and in this video I'm going to be talking about Cricut Design Space, and I've created a few tutorial videos on my channel to share how I use my Cricut for scrapbooking, but in this video I'm going to be going back to the basics to talk about some things that you may or may not know about Cricut Design Space. So whether you are just starting out with your Cricut or you've been using your Cricut for a while, or maybe you're just thinking about purchasing a Cricut, if you want to learn more about Cricut Design Space, keep watching as I'm going to share a lot of information on the images that are available in Cricut Design Space and the different ways you can purchase or get access to them. So I have tried creating this tutorial on this topic a few times, and I found that there's just so much to talk about that I decided that I would break it up into multiple videos. And so this first video is going to cover just the images that are available in Cricut Design Space. And then I will do two more videos, one that will focus on searching for images in Cricut Design Space, and then another video that will talk about how to get images from other sources that you can use with your Cricut. So make sure to subscribe and hit the bell notification if you would like to get notified when I post those videos on my channel. Okay, so images are a very big part of using your Cricut, and you can use images in many different ways. You can cut them out or have the Cricut draw them out with a pen, or you can also make a print and cut where you print an image on your printer and then cut it out with your Cricut. So I think there's a lot that we can do with images, especially as scrapbookers and card makers. And there are so many images in Cricut Design Space that it can be a little bit overwhelming to know what's available. Since the focus of this tutorial is on what images are available in Cricut Design Space, I'm going to start off by talking about ownership, because that's really important in understanding what you will have access to when you're using Cricut Design Space. So did you know that anyone can download and install Cricut Design Space even if you don't have a Cricut? A lot of people may not know that, and so I just wanted to share that with you, because if you're still on the fence about whether or not you want to purchase a Cricut, you can install the software and play around with it and look at what's in the Cricut image library to kind of get an idea if it's something that you think you want to purchase. So I think it's really awesome that Cricut allows everyone to use the design space. So Cricut will show you all of the images available in the Cricut image library, and you're going to see a lot of images that you will have to purchase before you can use them. I think it's awesome though that Cricut shows you all of the images and lets you add them to your project. You can change them, play around with them, like resize them or change the colors, and just kind of see if it's really something that you want to create before you decide to make your project. That way you can determine if it's something you really want to purchase, or maybe you want to look for something else that you already own or have access to use for free. So there are over 100,000 images in the Cricut image library in Cricut Design Space, and some of these are free, some are included in Cricut Access, which I'll talk about a little bit later in this video, and then also you're able to purchase any of the images that are included. So let's talk about the free images, because it's always fun to get free stuff, and I think it's awesome that Cricut gives you access to thousands of free images to make projects as soon as you get your Cricut. Okay, so let me show you how you can find all of the free images available in the Cricut image library. So what we're going to do is I have a project open here in Cricut Design Space, and I'm going to go over here to the left menu bar and click on Images, and that will take us to all of the images available. Now sometimes you might see this screen, which is kind of like the search feature, and or you might see this other screen. So I'm going to go over here and click on Category All Images. Sometimes you might see this screen, so it can be a little confusing because Cricut does remember the last place that you were when you searched the previous time. And so just in case you're kind of looking for this, I just wanted you to be aware of that. So if you're on this main screen, which is the one that has where you can browse by all these different categories, you can click on Browse All Images and it will go here, which is kind of like the search screen where you can search through and filter all of the images available in Cricut Library. Okay, so this category up here takes you back to the main screen with all the categories, and then clicking on Browse All Images takes you to the search screen where you can filter and search for images. So I hope that makes sense. Okay, so let's go ahead and talk about free images. Now you can see here if we're browsing all the images, which is 126,000 plus images, you can see here that there are some that are showing up for free. And as you scroll down, there are some that you have to pay for. And so sometimes if you just want to look for what's free and you don't want to see all the other images, it'd be kind of hard to just scroll through and look at all these different images. So what you can do is go over here to ownership, and you can click on ownership, and they will have this pick list here where you can filter your ownership by things like uploaded, purchased, free, and downloaded. And so the one we want to pick to see all of the free images is free. So when I click on that free, it's going to filter all of the images, and it now shows us that we have 2,868 images that are currently available for free in Cricut. So the number of images available for free in Cricut will change every week because Cricut does add new images every week that are free, and sometimes they take away images. And so it's really nice that every week you will get access to some new images. But on the downside, if you have an image you really like and you have it in a project, and the next week they take that image away, you won't be able to cut your project out. And so that is kind of one of the downside of using free images, is there's no guarantee that it's going to be available the next time you want to use it. Okay, so let's take a look and see kind of some of the images available right now in Cricut that are free, just so you can get an idea of different things that are available. So let's go ahead and just scroll through some of the images that are currently available for free. And you can see here that they have some really cute ones. And I think that it's really awesome that Cricut gives so many free images. Now, it would take you a really long time to scroll through and browse through all of these images because there's almost 3,000 of them. And so one of the really awesome things about Cricut Design Space is that you have the ability to search through all of the images by using the filters or by typing something in here in the search bar. So we're just going to go up here and say you wanted to find all the flowers. You can just type the word flower there and then come over here and click on this magnifying glass, and it would filter all of the free images, and you can see all of the flowers available, and there's 181 images. So you can scroll through and see if you can find a flower that you could use on your project. And like say if you wanted to pick this one, you would just pick that particular image and then insert it into your project, and then you could go ahead and cut it out. So if you're a card maker, one of the really awesome things about Cricut Design Space is that they also give us things like cards and other projects, and so some of those will be included with the free images. You can click over here, we'll go back to images, and instead of searching for a flower, let's search for a card, and we'll see how many cards are available currently with the free images. Okay, so we have 193 cards, and you can see as we scroll down through here that there's all of these cards that are available for you to use for free. And I think that's really awesome. So I think that Cricut does do a really good job. They sell you the machine, but they do give you quite a bit for free. And it's really a lot of fun to make different projects just for scrapbooking or card making or for parties. There's just so many things you can do with your Cricut. So let's talk about the next type of ownership available in Cricut. So I'm going to go over to the menu bar up here. I want to log off of this account that I'm currently logged into and log into a different account. I have two accounts, one that has my purchased images and my Cricut Access, and then I have this account which is kind of like an account I'm just using when I'm making these tutorials. So I want to go down here and click on sign out. And I'm going to log into my primary account that I use for my own personal use. And I'm going to go ahead and sign into that. And it's just under a different email here. Alright, so I wanted to do that because I don't have any purchased images in that other account, and I wanted to kind of show you what that looks like when you have an image that's purchased. So I'm going to go over here to click on images, and then we will browse all images. And then under ownership, I'm going to click on that, and I'm going to filter this by purchased. And now you're going to see all of these images that I have purchased. And a lot of these are things that I've had for a really long time. I have 31,000 images, and I've had Cricuts for a really long time. I think I had my first Cricut back when Cricut started with the Cricut Expression, and I think that's been more than 15 years ago. So I've had a Cricut Expression, a Cricut Imagine, the Cricut Explorer, and also now a Cricut Maker. And so over the past 15 years, I've accumulated a lot of images, buying cartridges and also buying the mystery boxes that Cricut had. Used to be when you would get a mystery box, you would get a bunch of cartridges. Now all of the mystery boxes are more materials like vinyl and paper and stuff like that. But I did get quite a few cartridges that way in the mystery boxes. And so I do have a lot of images available, which is really nice. So I like having the purchase images because if I ever decide that I want to discontinue my Cricut Access, I will still have lots of things to use with my Cricut. So let's talk a little bit about how you can tell whether or not you have an image that's purchased. And if you look down here on the left bottom corner of the image, you can see here that the ones that are purchased will say, will have the word purchase there. And if it's a free image, it will have the word free. I'm going to go ahead and show you this. So you'll see the word free if it's a free image. And then if there's an image that is not purchased and it's not free, you should see something that either says subscribed if you have Cricut Access like this, or you'll have a price there, and that's the price you would pay if you want to use that image. So let me see if I can find an image that I don't already have, and I think the easiest way to do that would be to just search for Disney, because Disney is one of the premium licensed images available in Cricut Design Space. And so a lot of the Disney images are not included in Cricut Access because they're the premium licensed images. And so if I go ahead and search on Disney, I should see some that I don't own and that I don't have access to. And so you'll see here that I have this one that's the Donald Duck. And if I wanted to use this image, it would cost $1.99. Now, once I purchase that image, it would be mine forever, and I would be able to use it on any projects going forward because I would actually have purchased it and I would own it. So let me go ahead and show you what it looks like when you add an image to your project that you don't own, that you would have to purchase if you make the project. So let's go ahead and click on this Donald Duck, and we'll insert it into our project. And then we're going to make the project, so we'll just go ahead and click on Make It. Now once you click on Make It, you'll notice down here this green button says Check Out. So instead of saying Continue, which is what it would say if you owned everything that was included in your project, if you have any images or fonts that you don't own, that you have to purchase, it will give you this green button that says Checkout, and your total over here will be the total cost to actually purchase all of the things that are in the project that you would need to own in order to make this project. Okay, and so when you click on checkout, it does take you to a screen where you put in your payment information, and that's kind of like how that works. So you can insert images into a project, and you can make changes to them and play around with them, and you don't actually make the purchase or buy that until you go to make the project. It's really cool though because you can see exactly what an image is going to look like. You can even make changes to it, like I could change the color of his hat to red, and just kind of play around with the image and decide whether or not you really want to buy that image. Okay, so let's go back to images because I want to share with you a few more things here. Okay, so one of the things I also wanted to mention here was if you want to find out more information about an image, you can click on this little eye right here and it will show you the information about the image. And then also it will have this link where you can view the image set that this image is a part of. So there's two ways to buy images in Cricut Design Space. You can buy an individual image for this price, which is $1.99, or you could actually buy the entire image set. Now, image sets used to be called cartridges because way back when Cricut first started out, they would sell you images on a physical cartridge that you would insert into your machine, and it was just a set of images that were loaded onto that cartridge. And so now that Cricut no longer sells the cartridges, when they redesigned the Cricut Design Space software and did some upgrades to it, they changed the wording and the terminology, so you're not going to see the word cartridge anymore. It's called an image set. So if you're looking for your cartridges, that's where they went. They're actually called image sets now. And so you can see if you wanted to, you could buy this particular cartridge or image set for $39.99, and it has 57 images. So when you buy the individual images, you're paying $1.99 per image. But if you buy this whole cartridge, you're paying only $40. And so you are getting a little bit of a discount if you buy the image set. So if you want to see all of the images on this cartridge, you could just scroll through and see, it'll show you every single image that's available on the cartridge so that you could decide whether or not this would be a cartridge that you would want to purchase. So if you only wanted a couple of images on a cartridge, it'd probably be better just to buy each individual image. But if you're going to be using a lot of the images, it's better to buy just the entire image set. Okay, so we've talked about free images and purchased images. And under ownership, there's also a couple other things there. And one is uploaded, and then there's also downloaded. And so those are basically just images that you uploaded into Cricut and images that you downloaded from Cricut. And I'm not going to go into any details on those two types of ownership in this video. I'm going to save that for the video where I talk about how you can get other types of images from other places to use with your Cricut. Okay, so I have one more thing that I'm going to talk to you about in this video, and that is Cricut Access. So to see all of the images available in Cricut Access, you actually will use a different filter because really you don't own anything under Cricut Access. Cricut Access to me is a subscription service, and you pay a monthly or an annual fee to use Cricut Access. And I want to say it's kind of similar to if you have a Netflix or a Hulu or some kind of a TV subscription service where you're paying a monthly fee to watch those movies and television shows. And if you ever were to cancel your membership, you immediately no longer have access to any of those movies or TV shows. And so Cricut Access works the same way. If you have your membership for Cricut Access and you are paying your monthly or annual fees, then you will have access to everything that is in the Cricut Access library. But as soon as you cancel your membership, all of that goes away. So if you created a project and you included images that were part of your Cricut Access subscription, and then you no longer have your subscription, the next time you try to make that project, it's going to ask you to purchase those images. So it's kind of like renting them. So you have free images, you have purchase images, which you own, and then you have Cricut Access, which is kind of like your rental. So you're renting those images. Then there's a lot of advantages to having Cricut Access, and so I want to share with you kind of how that works and give you some of the details about the different plans that they have available. So let's go ahead and look at the Cricut.com site so that I can show you kind of the plans that they have with Cricut Access. So now that I have gone to the Cricut.com website, if I go over to this link right here that is the shop, I can click on shop and that will take me to the Cricut store. And one of the options here is Cricut Access, and you'll see it right here on the top menu bar. If I click on that, it will take you to this screen which will show you all of the information about Cricut Access. So with Cricut Access, you get access to over 100,000 images, and they add images every week. And you also get access to over 400 fonts and ready to make projects. So there's a lot of things that you get access to with this subscription service. Now, the way that the subscription service works is that they have two different plans. There's a basic plan, and it comes in two different kind of payment options. You can either pay monthly for $9.99 per month, or you can pay annually, and you're billed $95.88, and that kind of comes out to $7.99. So you kind of get a little bit of a discount if you pay for the entire year. Okay, so what's included in the basic plan is you get access to the 100,000 plus images, the 400 plus fonts, and also some ready-made projects. You also get 10% on all product purchases from Cricut.com, including machines, accessories, materials, and just everything that's available from the online store. So if you haven't bought your Cricut machine yet, or you're thinking about upgrading to a new Cricut, you might want to think about buying into the Cricut Access program first, and just getting that membership started, so that when you do go to purchase your Cricut, you will get 10% off the price of your Cricut machine. And I think some of the bundles can run about $400 or $500. And so if you purchase your Cricut Access subscription first, and then you purchase your Cricut machine, your Cricut Maker, the bundle, you can get $40 or $50 off that purchase. Okay, so the last thing here that you get with Cricut Access, the basic plan, is you also get 10% savings on all of the different licensed fonts, images, and ready-to-make projects from brands like Disney and Anna Griffin. So those are all the licensed images that don't come free with Cricut Access. You would be able to purchase those at a 10% discount. So when I was sharing with you a minute ago that it would cost $1.99 for that Disney image, you would be able to get a 10% discount on that price if you have Cricut Access. Okay, the last thing here is that if you have Cricut Access, you will get Priority Member Care Line, which is a 50% less wait time if you do need to call in to get support. Okay, so let's talk about the other plan, which is the premium plan. That one is $9.99 a month, but you can't get that one if you pay by the month. That one only comes if you want to be billed annually. And so if you want the premium plan, you have to pay $119.88 every year, and that works out to be $9.99 a month. And with that plan, the only difference there between the two plans, you get everything that's in the basic plan, plus you get up to 50% savings on licensed fonts, images, and ready-to-make projects. But that's not on the premium licensed fonts and images. So that does not include Disney and Anna Griffin and things like that. Those are still 10%, but everything else you would get 50% off. So as I was creating this tutorial, I realized there were some really big changes with the way that the Cricut Design Space worked for purchasing digital images and image sets, and also some changes on the Cricut.com site. And so I kind of question that you would really gain from getting this 50% discount, because there's no way to purchase digital image sets if they're included in the Cricut Access subscription. Because the way that the software works now is that if you have a Cricut Access membership, it shows up as being under that, and it doesn't give you a price, and there's no way to purchase it from in the app. And if you go to the Cricut.com store, they no longer have digital image sets or cartridges available in the store. So I'm kind of confused about actually that, and I'm wondering if they might have left that in there by mistake. But you can purchase some digital image sets from the Cricut Design Space, but not like you used to. It used to be that you could purchase any digital image set, whether you had Cricut Access or not. And now it looks like you can't really purchase those unless you don't have Cricut Access, or you create another account like I did, where you have an account that is not associated to Cricut Access. Then you could purchase it. And so but you wouldn't get a discount. So I don't know. That's just kind of strange to me. And I did want to reach out to Cricut, but I haven't done that yet. But I am planning to try to see if I can contact somebody to kind of see if they can answer my questions about the premium Cricut Access subscription. Anyway, so okay, the other thing that you get with the premium membership that you don't get with the basic is you get free economy shipping on any order over $50. So if you're planning to buy a lot of materials and make a lot of orders, then that might come in handy because you could get free shipping on any order that was over $50. Okay, so let me go back to Cricut Design Space and just kind of show you a couple of things there when you're looking for Cricut Access images, just so you can kind of see kind of what to look for when you're trying to figure out what's included in Cricut Access. Okay, so we're back over here in Cricut Design Space, and I want to go up to the top of this filter bar up here, and you can see here under the filters, the very first option that you see here is that you can filter by what's included in Cricut Access. So I can click on that, and it will show me all of the images available in Cricut Access. Well, you can see right now that it's showing me that there's 0 images, and that's because right now I have this filtered by the Disney cartridge Mickey Mouse and Friends, which is not included in Cricut Access. So in order to get back to the place where I can browse all images, I'm going to go and click here, back to image, and then I'm going to get rid of this filter which says Disney and click on this magnifying glass, and that's going to show me over 140,000 images available in Cricut Design Space. Now I noticed when I cleared the filters that it also cleared the filter for the Cricut Access. So I'm going to go back over here where it has the filters and click on this checkbox. And now you will see that we have 119,414 images that are available in the Cricut Access library. And that's what you would get if you subscribe to Cricut Access. Okay, so we could go ahead and just scroll through here and you can see all of the images available, and there are so many cute things. And I think that if you're just starting out and you don't have a lot of purchased images, that it's really awesome to get the Cricut Access because you have access to a lot of images all at one time. And so there's lots of different images, there's lots of fonts, tons of things that you can use for your projects. So that's all I have for this particular topic. And I am going to be doing some more Cricut tutorial videos, so please be sure to subscribe so you'll get notified when I put out a new video. And I also have a Facebook group, so if you're interested in joining that group, it's called Cricut Tutorials with Yes Please PaperCrafts. And if you want to join the group, there's a link in the description below to the group. You can click on that link, request to join, and I will add you to the group. Now, if you have any questions about Cricut Design Space or anything that I covered in this particular video, please leave a question in the comments below, or you can leave the question in the Facebook group. And I will try to respond back, usually within a day. So if you'd like to support my channel and shop with me at Cricut.com, I am an affiliate with Cricut, and I have a link in the description below, so if you shop with me through the link, it's no cost to you, and it really does help me out. So anyway, that's all I have, and so I hope you guys have an awesome day, and I will see you next time. Bye now.